a light worker, Chuck?
You could probably describe it as a light worker. I mean, I'm a physical medium, a channeler of healing. I do work on, various different, energies, regarding your chakra system, stuff like that. So I suppose you could say that. I would say I'm turning into this rambling Reverend Charles Banks. Who knows? Who knows what will happen in the next 12 months?
So are you still the closet medium?
I would say, darling, that I'm out in the open. So you know what? Let's just call me the 2XL medium tonight.
Okay. Well, people would come to me and say, "Are you a medium?" I go, "No, I'm a large." I'm more comfortable in a large than I am a medium, even though I'm not really that big. But that's what I would tell them, and they just laugh. So
well, it's this new book, Peering into the Void, is going to take you on a roller coaster ride, and it's going to give you kind of a peek into not only myself but also varying different spirituality components, and hopefully to help you out if you ever find that dark place. So that's it's kind of the opening of my soul into the universe, and I'm going to go big or go home on this one.
well, I can't wait for it to show up. So when it does, I'll give you my honest opinion. That's one thing you can always count on me. I'm always going to give you the honest opinion. Sometimes I give you the information a little too late, but that's only because I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm not a psychic.
For sure. Now, Death the Saga, that's kind of my trek from this scared, oppressed, dark individual into what I am today, and it really doesn't shine the light into how happy I am. You know what I mean, or how gracious I am to be alive and to be able to spread love and positivity into the world in a whole new manner.
One of the things that I always wonder is when you do the healing. I know that you can do it over Skype.
Mm-hmm.
How effective is that for people?
Well, it's one of those things where they have to be in tune spiritually, or you have to have that connection. I tend to do my best work though when I'm physically, what I mean, with the folks. I remember I was out in Chicago. It was a pretty good, small paranormal event venue, and there was this gal that she I could just sense that she had this darkness, that was attached to her. So I said, "Hey, hon, do you trust me here? Are you okay with me doing this?" And I laid hands on her, and she could feel. I mean, anytime that I do that and I pull it out, you can feel this energy emanate and move away and out of the body. And then I snapped my fingers and I considered it done, and I gave grace to God. And you know what? She said it was like 300 pounds just went off her shoulders, and she would smile at me and be giddy the rest of the event. But she didn't buy my damn book. I was like,
well, why would you expect her to buy the cow when you're giving the milk away for free?
I know it, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, we have a couple questions in chat. We're going to clear up before the top of the hour, before it scrolls off my screen here. Gary asks, when you do a cleansing, do you do it in the name of Christ and shed his blood?
I do that. I also bring in, the archangels. So you can say that it's probably a great plethora of things when you look at the Christianity component. I've read the Gnostic verses and all that sort of stuff. So, but I do utilize Christ. And when I was able to bring him, into my heart, and my connection with God, became that much stronger. But I also utilize, Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, and thousands of other angels, that I'll bring in, that I call my spiritual team, to basically fight this darkness or these darker energies that people, suffer from.
So, over time, have the way you do cleansings changed?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Early on, I was thinking, oh man, I got to have this holy water. I got to have the sage, or I have to have these right medallions, or, whatever. It's a constant learning and search for, that true meaning, into the void, or into this other frontier that we call, that we'll all see when we move on, in spirit. And I'm excited about that. And you know what? If I do not, once I learn the greatest mystery, in this life, I'll probably pass on. It's one of those things.
Or you'll pass on and learn that greatest mystery.
And they'll probably say, Chuck, what the hell were you thinking? Who knows?
Yep. Right. And then smack us around for going, We told you not to do this. Yeah. Those people that told you to leave us alone, we really meant it.
Yeah. And, absolutely. Now, my when I got and I do have a chapter in my book, and it's called Organized Religion. And it's about 7 pages of my experiences, in the church, with certain people. And each time, going through these experiences, I caught them in lies. I caught them not, you look up to these people and you hold them on a pedestal, which you probably shouldn't, because we're all human. But, dang it, if you're my preacher and you're saying these things, then by George, you shouldn't cross that bearing. And you know what? I'm not going to say that I'm the guy that knows all the answers. Heck no. You know what? I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly praying, and eventually I'll know all the answers, as all of us will, when we pass on.
I want to tell everybody, if you're hearing a little gurgling sound or growling sound, it is a cat snoring near my computer. Or if you're hearing a kind of licking sound, one cat's forcing another cat to be washed right next to me. So just be aware of that. She's clean. So when you have 5 cats, you always have some kind of sound, no matter how quiet it is. So just wanted to let you know that there's no demon here, just demon cats. So, because we know it still happens, so you guys can still hear the cats. Because I know that I find that when I do cleansings these days, used to be I needed sage, I needed this and that. Now the only reason I need something is for other people to see that I've done something.
Sure.
Not for me. Me now, I can do it all with prayer, and that's really all I need. I just need God. I don't need all the sage. I don't need all this other stuff. It's just the way that it is now, and it's worked every time.
Sure.
So I don't have a problem, and I think that's because my faith has grown exponentially since I've been in the paranormal. Where before this, I wasn't agnostic, but I wasn't really anti-religion. I was just, I'm Southern Baptist and didn't really want to be part of that because everything had always been hellfire and brimstone.
Absolutely.
And I have multiple Southern Baptist ministers in my family. So it's my lot, it's always been there. So growing up in that sort of way, we kind of stepped back from religion. Ron had some experiences with churches always having their hand out when he was growing up. And so, there's been a lot of stepping back from that. But it's more stepping back from the church, not stepping back from God. So we have found more religion since we've been in the paranormal than before.
Yeah, I mean, when I stepped back and I chose to walk in the shoes of Christ, or of these ascended masters that many people call them, at that point I realized that life is so much better because I have a connection with God, and no one's going to be able to take that away.
No, they can't. Another question. We're coming up. We've got about 4 minutes till our next break. Let's see. I'm going to ask Kat's question because I think Tom's is going to take a little bit longer. Kat asked, "Do you consider yourself a deliverance minister?"
It's interesting that Kat would bring that up. I have had at least 3 callings to spread the word of God. I thought it was to be a preacher early on, and you know what? All 3 times I said no. But I look back, Denise, and I think that I'm doing that now. You know what I mean? I'm spreading love. I'm sending out prayers. I'm sending out light. You know what? And since again, I know I sound like this thing that's going over and over and over. But chapter 10 of my book, Finding God Again, when I was able to truly find my shift in ascending, things aligned, and it's an amazing feeling when things align. To your beliefs, to your sinners, to all that stuff. Hope I didn't run around her question, but
no, you didn't. Yeah. Because in your case, you are, but you aren't.
Mm-hmm.
You're a deliverance minister to those who need you to be, and you're not to those who don't need you to be.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like this book just poured right out of you.
It did. I spent a lot of my time writing this other book that's going to be coming out in a couple months, and I was into my last 3 or 4 chapters, but I got back into this. My soul opened up, and the fire in my heart, and the love that surrounded me allowed me to complete this.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, it's just that's how it seems, because I don't even remember hearing that you were working on this book until just before you were saying, "Hey, I'm done and I'm publishing this."
It was going to come out June next year, and when you get that edge, when Spirit tells you that you need to do something, well, you do it, and I was excited to get it done before Christmas. So maybe a few copies will go out there, and it'll help people through these holiday times that tend to be a little tougher for some folks.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that suffer from seasonal affective disorder,
mm-hmm.
and not just in this time of year, but all year long. People think about it just during fall and winter, but for some people, it's summer.
Yeah, and my dad's anniversary of his passing. Every year before this past year, it was some of the hardest moments of my life. But you know what? My dad comes around quite frequently, and so we're able to look past a lot of that stuff. So it's something that I've overcome, and people can do that. People can make that connection with God and the spirits of their of their mom, their dad, their child, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm still having a little bit of issues with my mom's passing.
Sure.
But it's been a year, and really, if I said I didn't have a problem, there'd be a problem with me.
For sure.
But everybody, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. We're going to be coming back in about 5 minutes after we go to break. So you guys go get your hot chocolate, your wine, your cheese, whatever it is you're going to get, go and get it and come back. You're listening to Paranormal Pride on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. And make sure you guys tune in to Fate Magazine Radio, let me get this right, on Sundays at 7 o'clock. Kat does a great job on that too. If you're ever looking for something to do, we have archives out there too, and I'll tell you where to find those at the next break. So come on back. About 5 minutes, guys.
NPR podcasts are now available on every platform. Check out all our shows at npr.org/podcasts. That's npr.org/podcasts.